So at Keemotion, what we're doing is we're focused on automated production technology. And I think you heard some of these themes today, deep in talking a little bit about how local sports or the local sports fan starts to have a lot of power as we look into the future. And then Christine's points about how the NBA fan all over the world, most of them can't even make it to the game. So at Keemotion, we're focused on unlocking middle tier and long tail sports around the world through our automated production technology. Before we get into it, just a couple of ways that we look at the world. First and foremost, we see the world moving from a manual to an automated world, right? We see this most popularity in the press with Tesla and what they're doing in cars. When it comes to the media world, we're going from appointment viewing to binge watching. I'm a perfect example of this. I used to watch X-Files with my family as a kid every Sunday night, and now instead I cruised through Homeland last Saturday with my wife at one afternoon. The third thing is game of the week into instant share, right? So in the sports world, the sports fan's no longer just waiting for the content to come to them, right? They're gonna get it when they want it. Twitter with all the live updates, and all the other various social media platforms, all the highlights are making their way to your phone, through your group chats, wherever you may be looking for them in real time. This creates a problem. We just talked about consumer ADD and all the different things that are happening there and how our attention is split in all of these different ways. The second thing is that the value of live sports continue to go up, right? We don't see this stopping from Keemotion's perspective. We work in 3 different continents, 9 different countries. All over the place, rights continue to rise. Which brings us to the third problem, right? If value of rights continues to drive up exponentially, and then all of our attention is continuing to get split, and we can get content wherever we need it, why would we ever produce content or live sports the way we did 50 years ago as we look into the future? ESPN seems to be kind of the 800-pound gorilla in the room still, right? But they've lost 15 million TV subscribers in the last 6 years. When you look at people like Facebook, like Amazon, all of these different social media platforms, right? You start to see them getting into the content game, and specifically sports content. We think that kind of brings about an opportunity for a new way to produce content and sports content around the world. Enter Keemotion, the automated video production for live sports around the world. As Amy said, we're really focused on the middle tier and the long tail of sports. We're in 2 offices. Here in Brooklyn, we have our marketing and sales department. In Brussels, we have our R&D, where the technology was formed, and all of our programmers sit. We're operating on 3 continents in 9 countries. We work with 6 professional leagues, most of those in Europe. We work with 8 NBA clients. And then at the college level, we work with Kansas and Villanova and a number of other high-profile NCAA clients. So let's get into the technology. These are our cameras. They're about 3 feet high, or 3 inches high, excuse me, and maybe 8 inches wide. They don't move, and with our partnership with Intel, we continue to develop this technology in a meaningful way. Now, the way we install it, there we go, is we actually physically install it into the top of an arena. So it sits there, it's fixed, it's out of harm's way, and then it's able to pick up all the action that's happening on the court. Now, in the next video, you'll see a little bit how this works. There we go. So the 2 cameras focus on each side of half court. We stitch the image together. Our intelligent technology picks up on what's happening, and then we actually create a frame around the players in the action, depending on which way people are facing, how fast they're moving, and where they're located on the court. Obviously, the frame is where we focus within, where the lightest section, and then we cut away all of the darkened section there, which gets you to this broadcast angle. Most recently, or in 2017 with Fox Sports, we actually produced 31 games in 6 days for the NAIA National Tournament in Kansas City. And so when you combine this technology and all the work that we've done over the past 4 to 5 years, this is what you get.
The senior from New Orleans misses the first. A chance to win it. Jeremy Crane over to Deion Rogers. Rogers, step back, got it! 2.3 left. Up the floor, Haywood doesn't get it off. Texas West.
So, That was 31 games in 6 days with no human beings needed to produce those games. Obviously, the commentator sat remote and just called the game over the feed that we sent to him. This is who we work with. So in the top right, our investors include RGA, the LA Dodgers, and David Stern, former NBA commissioner. And then, of course, we work with Intel to develop our technology. SFR is the largest broadcaster in France, and then, of course, Fox Sports here in the US. And Globosat is the national broadcaster of Brazil, as well as the Spurs, Lakers, and Golden State Warriors at the NBA level. I guess I'll leave you with this. Our partners and our investors say two things about us that I think we try to aspire to every day. I think first is that we do want to be the Tesla for sports broadcasting. We want to automate and capture as many middle tier and long tail live sports around the world and deliver it to the sports fans locally, wherever they are. And the second is that we think we could be the future of sports broadcasting. As we continue to look out and develop this technology, it's just a matter of the resources, the financial resources, and the talent and the technology and pushing it forward to apply it to more sports, more worlds, more locations, and we're excited about that opportunity. Thank you.